Good morning. How are you this morning? I'm good. I just wanted to mention they were talking this morning on the news about the Canadian Home Together concert on Sunday. So it was going to be an hour and now it's going to be 90 minutes. And I think it's because probably lots of celebrities are wanting to participate. And that's going for the food banks all over Canada, which I think is a wonderful idea. How are you today? If you were with me, what color would you pick? I think today I'm going to pick yellow. And I'm feeling pretty good. I got Ollie with me. Maybe that's why I picked yellow for the gold. And because of what day it is today. The date. So if you look at my shirt, which day of the week do we wear this? And if we were at school, we would be preparing today to sell something just at the beginning of lunch. Can you find it? Right there. What day of the week did we sell popcorn and make popcorn? Thursday. That's right. Thursday. Right there. And it's the 23rd. And our month is January, February, March, and April. We had Easter in April. And the year is 2020. 2020. What's the weather like today? If I look out my window, well, that's something I forgot to do this morning. I didn't open up one set of my curtains. It's sunny today. What's it doing at your place? And that's what it says it's supposed to do. Sunny, sunny all day. And above 0, which is nice. Same in Meaford. Did you hear Ollie moving? So great. I just love the sun. Okay, the news. Trudeau has announced the student aid. And that would involve Connor, so I got a text from him yesterday. Basically, what they're going to get in a month will cover his rent in Toronto with a little bit extra. So that's going to be difficult for him because that means he's not going to make any money. So we'll have to brainstorm that. Because some people have to pay their rent all year long and they don't. That's what Connor does. Because he's a bit of a worrywart like me. So he likes to just have his place so he knows that he's going to have something. So I think that there was also mention that the students will also be able to get more grants. So hopefully that will help them. Ford, yesterday when he was talking, was saying that the Ontario curve is flattening. So that's great news. That means there are less cases each day. And that is what we've been waiting for. However, he said reopening is not just going to happen just yet. And when we do reopen, it's going to have to be really slow. I also think we're going to have to practice the social distancing because we've been away from visiting with people. Like yesterday, I saw someone and we were talking, and accidentally we both went to pet Ollie at the same time. And we were standing like even more than a hockey stick away from each other. But then we were talking about Ollie, and she's so cute, and she rolled on her back, and there's her belly. So both of us went down to rub her belly. And then we started laughing because it's like, oh, we were just totally social distancing. And then we weren't thinking. So we're going to have to practice that. I think we're going to have to break our habits. Some fun news on the CTV morning show. They have to say the date every morning. I guess they got requests to say what day it was every morning because we're not in our regular school routine. Families don't know what day it is. So we do, because we do this every day, don't we? So they're calling days on Thursday Thankful Thursdays. So I thought that was neat. Ours are Thunder Thursdays. Theirs are Thankful Thursdays. So that could also be something we talk about, is things we're thankful for. Okay, I have a comic. And it's Linus and his sister. And he's sitting with his ball. And she's reading, "Fantastic." And he says, "Have you ever known anyone who has the gift of prophecy?" "Just myself." Lucy says, "You? Absolutely. I can predict what any adult will answer when he or she is asked a certain question." If you go up to an adult and say, "How come we have Mother's Day and Father's Day, but we don't have Children's Day?" the adult will always answer, "Every day is Children's Day." It doesn't matter what adult you ask, you will always get the same answer. It is an absolute certainty. "I'll try it out on Grandma." Lucy's off the page at the moment asking Grandma, "How come we have Mother's Day and Father's Day, but we don't have a Children's Day?" "Every day is Children's Day," says the grandma. The gift of prophecy. What do you think? If you asked your mom or dad, or your grandma or grandpa, why is there a Mother's Day and Father's Day but not a Kids' Day? You think they would say that every day is Kids' Day? That would be funny to find out. So yesterday on my walk with Ollie, I saw all these birds, but I didn't have my camera. So we went for our walk, and then I came back in the condo and I got my camera and I went out. And I'm going to list off all the birds that I saw in this one little section in the condo in Applejack. I saw 4 cedar waxwings up in the tree, golden finch, a junco, which I wasn't quite sure about, but my dad and I figured that out, a northern flicker, which is a type of woodpecker, a downy woodpecker, which Max and I saw at my bird feeder, chickadees, mourning dove, song sparrow, and a chipping sparrow. So I'm starting to actually look at all of the different markings on the bird so I can look in my book, Ontario Birds, and then I go through and I put down if I saw that bird. It's like a treasure hunt, I tell you. I'm trying to find all the birds. It's fun. I know maybe it's not your thing, but that's one of my things. And I like taking pictures of them. Some of the colors are so beautiful. So yesterday our item was this thing. Did anyone know what that was? I said you could identify it. Is it a animal, plant, or a rock? What do you think? Well, it is a plant. It's not an animal. Whoops, one of them fell off. So it's got this little pod, and inside the pod ooh, and it's a little prickly. Let's see if I have any. Oh yeah, there's one. Are seeds. And these things grow quite wildly. And they can be invasive, which means they can take over a certain area. There's another seed. And the reason I know what they are is because my sister-in-law told me. They're called wild cucumber. And they're a vine. And they can grow over anything, and they just cover it right up. And that's the little pod that grows which holds the seeds. So a wild cucumber. Not like a cucumber we know that we eat and make pickles with, but a wild cucumber. And look at those curly things that it makes. Can you see that one? Not very much, but they've got these, like they're little spirals. Oh, that one's better. Nature's so cool. Okay, our next item is going to be these. And I think that this one most people know what these are, so I don't think this one will be hard. Okay. And if I open it up, there's a few of them there. So that's the item for tomorrow. And I've got a sound for you. You know what that is? You see what I'm doing? I'm putting my laundry in the washing machine. So that was me turning on the washing machine. I needed to do some laundry yesterday. I always do my laundry in the evening because the electricity is at a lower rate then. I know they talked about that, changing that, but I don't know if they did or not. Okay, the exercise that we're going to do today has to do with my sound. Yesterday I did my laundry, so I'm going to fold it. I'm going to turn on the light maybe. Does that help? Can you see me better? Maybe I'll just get closer. So I have my laundry on my drying rack because some of my items are cotton and I don't like to stretch out the cotton or shrink the cotton, so I like to hang them out to dry. And because I live in a condo, I don't have a clothesline. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to do it to music, because sometimes when I'm doing my housework, I put the music on. This was the song chosen yesterday by one of my students. And you can watch and see. So if I have pants, when the night has come, I'm going to fold them in half. And the land is dark. And the moon, and then half again, is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid. Just as long as in shirts, I hold up the shoulders, and once again, I just fold it in half and half again. Some of you are really good at folding. I don't know if all of you can do folding though. It's a good exercise. You're reaching up. You're holding your arms up. If you do it standing, you could also even sway to your music. That's my pajamas. So I fold it in half, and then fold it again. Shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. And darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Stand by me. Oh, look at that! It took the same time as the amount of time for that song. Okay, there. I don't know if anyone's been looking for the lantern. I have it now on my list. I put lantern so I don't forget. I'll say it right at the end. Okay. So, we're going to go to the Toronto Zoo right now. This is online for the Toronto Zoo, and you can go to, this is all the different areas they have at the zoo. And then they have all of their animals listed with a description and everything. So we're going to go to Africa, right here. And this morning we're going to talk about the pygmy hippopotamus. The pygmy hippo may resemble a miniature river hippopotamus, but they are structural differences. It is considerably smaller, the head is rounder, proportionately smaller, and not so broad and flat. The nostrils are large and almost circular. The eyes are set on the side of the head and do not protrude. The legs are proportionately longer, and only the front toes are webbed. As well, the pygmy hippo has only one pair of upper incisors compared to the river hippo's 2 pair. The feet have 4 toes, each have sharp nails. The length of the body is 1.5 meter to 1.8 meter, and it weighs about 160 to 270 kilograms. So almost like 2 of me. They're from West Africa. They like rainforests and swamps. And they are herbivores. And you remember what herbivores are? We talked about that when we were doing domesticated animals. They like veggies. So they eat vegetation. They eat succulents, tender shoots, leaves, roots, grass, and fallen fruit. They also like aquatic plants, and aquatic means water plants, because they do swim. When Max, Kaya, and I went to the Toronto Zoo, we saw them, and the mother just had a little baby, so it was pretty cute. So there you go, the pygmy hippopotamus. It's quite a bit smaller than the regular hippopotamus. So if you would like to learn more about the pygmy hippopotamus, you can go to the Toronto Zoo. They have a wonderful website. Okay, the other, I'm going to be long today. I hope this video saves okay. I made some homemade Play-Doh last night. It was pretty fun, actually. I had never made it before. And we used to make it as kids, my mom used to, or I had a recipe I know for it. So what I wanted to do with the Play-Doh, which is also a good fine motor, I'm using a tin can lid, and I have the kind of cutter that cuts it so there's not a sharp edge. So if you can't use a lid, you could use a piece of cardboard. And I'm going to push it on to the lid. Like that. Can you figure out what I'm going to make? So then I'm going to use some green. This recipe made a lot. I made 1/4 the amount that it called for, and I got all of this wonderful, fun stuff to play with. And it's just made with flour, salt, cream of tartar, and water. And then you cook it. So then I'm going to make the green look sort of like Canada. And it kind of goes, the Great Lakes are over here, and like that. And then maybe the United States is pretty easy to replicate. Just like kind of a big rectangle with a little chute there for Florida. Has anyone else been to Florida? And then you have Mexico. I know some people have been to Mexico. It comes down here. So it's not going to be perfect, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. So you make Canada, United States, Mexico, and what does it make? Does it look like the Earth? So that's our Earth, one of our Earth Day activities today. And if you're interested, you just go online, and I used a simple Play-Doh recipe, and you have to get your parents to help. because I did have to use the stovetop. But there, the earth. And you could put a little heart in the, because we love the earth. You see my heart? Okay. The lantern. Did you find it? Right there. It's in a good spot today because it's dark over there. Well, I hope you have a great day. It's nice and sunny. The temperature's above -1. So that's good. I miss you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.